All right. Welcome in, everyone, to Build, Break, Discover. Previously in the past, I've turned wood objects and other blanks on basically a wood turning lathe and made tools and all sorts of things out of it. You see right here, I made this out of 7 different species of wood, and it's basically a turning tool for wood turning. You can make bowls out of it, whatever you want. It took quite a bit of sanding and quite a bit of gluing together to get all these seam lines just right. And before I go through and talk about everything else that's going to lead to the next tool that I'm going to make, you can go ahead and fast forward now if you want. It's about a minute 30. It's totally up to you. Or you can go ahead and continue to listen to original audio. 3 pounds of epoxy blanks that I'm going to turn on the lathe into different cylinder sizes. What I'll go ahead and do at that point is make 2 separate molds that are both 5 by 2 inches. What that's going to allow me to do is not only fit it in my pressure pot accordingly. While that's in its 2 halves, I'll also be drilling a center to center of probably 1 inch both ways, turning a different size diameter cylinder, and then gluing these 2 halves together with epoxy resin. During its curing process, I'll actually be working with this high strength steel 9/16 rod. I'll be cutting, grinding, and doing all of that by hand just so that this carbide tip detailer fits in here perfectly. Let's go ahead and get started with the resin blanks. Alright, so I'm not using a drill bit for this one. I'm just going to use a simple countersink. And I'm going to put a countersink on both ends so I can fit it on the lathe. Once this thing is tight, I'll go ahead and test out my tool, make sure it works well. Fire this thing up. Now, to do it to another 30 pieces. Go ahead and separate them in these 2 containers right here. We'll mix up some Total Boat tabletop epoxy resin and we'll put them in the pressure pot. Go ahead and wait a couple minutes, let the bubbles rise to the surface, and put them in the pressure pot. Perfect. While that's in the pressure pot, let's go ahead and get this rod sanded down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, this was definitely a challenging project, but I think it came out really nice. It feels great in the hands, and well, I'll see you guys on the next project.